Alright, I'm doing this video for my buddy Ryan Barnes over at, he does all the Mopars. And as you see my output, nothing less than 1/2 inch pipe. 1/2 inch black pipe is good, 1/2 inch brass pipe also good. All the valves, nothing less than 1/2 inch. Do not choke the compressor down at the output. From that, this side here is going to go down. It's going down to my air brushes inside the house. So it goes down like this and into this air filtration filter, right? This you can get at Harbor Freight. I modify mine. When you buy this, it'll have all kinds of, it'll have the fittings, it'll have the regulator there. I just bypass that whole thing completely. Then I also have another one right here, which is an air filter, basically water separator. And as you can see, no water's coming out of there. Also, the bottom of the filtration one has a valve. And as you can see, no water coming out of there. This makes it so it's double duty catching the water before it gets to the airbrush inside my house where I have my spray booth for doing my models. But there's another one of these with a regulator inside to bring down the pressure. And then it goes through this, I think this is 25 or 50 foot 3/8 hose. And by the way, this is the Harbor Freight 60 gallons they used to sell. The tank used to be made in America. The pump was actually made in Italy. I upgraded the air filter to the metal style. You can go online and find that. I also upgraded for the oil drain. I added the extension so it's easier to drain the oil and not get it all over the place. I also added an hours meter. This way I know how much hours is on this. I've had this for about 5-6 years and I've got 600 hours on this thing. Good idea to add to the drain on the bottom of the tank. Okay? You want to have this pipe come out far enough where you can service it. Because being under there makes it very difficult to service, especially since this sits actually in a heater room and it's a step down. I have a hose leading out from it. That hose goes up to my automatic drain, which I'll show you how that works. Okay, now that bottom hose is right there. That leads up to my switch for my automatic drain. And then there's another, you see that one line right here? That's the actual drain. There's a manual drain here and an automatic drain up here. This is an electronic solenoid valve that opens and ejects any water or air out of this pipe right here. And I put it far enough so it doesn't go back into the heater room. Never mind the uncovered 240 volt. Now I'm going to open the manual one and you'll see it open, and it has to work this way. If no air comes out, then there's a clog somewhere. Because right now there's about 135 psi in that tank. As you can see, you saw the water come out of there. And that keeps the tank dry, relatively dry, and keeps the water out of your paint jobs, your air tools, which lessens how long they last, because the water destroys them. So it's a good idea to keep the water out. Now I'm going to try, I'll show you the electronic version. By unplugging and plugging it in, it'll throw the solenoid valve. Okay, on the other end, I got about a 50-foot run from the heater room to here. I have another one of those air filter regulators, okay? Again, I've removed all this stuff. I buy them, I take everything out, I plug the top, I run this, and I run a regulator. And I split it here, and I split it here. One goes to my tire machine. One goes to another 100-foot hose outside in case I need to put air in a car or move something or get something dusted off or use tools somewhere in the yard. The 100-foot gives me a pretty good amount. I can always extend it with another hose, and I can use that air tool anywhere in the yard. Again, it has a drain on the bottom. I'm expecting water to come out of here because I haven't drained it in a while. Okay? See the water coming out of that? That's what happens. See that? Not that much. Wasn't that much. But there was some. I always drain this valve if I'm going to paint. So in the other portable garage that I use as a makeshift spray booth, I have a different filter system that brings down the oil, that takes out the oil and the moisture out of the air. But this works pretty well. Now, I have the hose reel that has 100-foot, and I'm going to just dust this off right here, this toolbox and stuff that's got all dirt on it. And you saw how much water came out of that. Here's my hand. You see, no water. Alright, I'll show you how to do a drop leg on a compressor, and that'll be the simplest way to do it. Okay, this is a rudimentary drawing, and yeah, I know it's horrible, but it's a quick way to do it. And it's on the kids' whiteboard, so hey, why not? Anyway, the minimum is a 1/2 inch of pipe coming out here. Then you could go into a Y or a T, okay, and bring this down. What you're doing here is you're actually adding a drop down. You have a valve here, 1/2 inch air valve, minimum, okay? When the compressor runs, it fills this. The air will go up, the water will go down. When you open the valve, it will drain out the water. Now I've got the Harbor Freight regulator, the large blue regulator, with the valve, with the whole thing. You can leave it all together, and then after that one, another short piece and another water separator. Then go to your tools. Make sure you extend. If it's not already extended and you can't, so you know, for easy access, do it, because this makes it easier for you to get to it, and you won't be so lazy. Well, I can't get under there, blah blah blah. It's a pain in the ass. When it's extended and you can reach it, open the valve, you can drain anything out of the tank. And you doing this one daily, or wherever you need or use the compressor, will ensure that you don't get any water out of here. You can always auto drain. You can always put this over here, put the auto drain like I showed you, and use that, and then electrically walk away, and it'll drain every 15 minutes for 10 seconds intervals, or whatever your auto drain is set up for. This is the simplest, easiest, and basically you should at least have this alone to keep the water out of your lines and save your tools. It'll work better with your blaster, everything. Any blasting cabinet you have, that'll work better. Well, everything will work better. Never choke this point down. You want as much volume coming out of this to here. You can choke it down later on when you need to, but never here.